right. Hey everybody, it's Mary at Yard Art or Us. I hope you guys are doing well today. I have my #1 helper, assistant, boss, maintenance supervisor.
Nobody else in the world will do all this.
Y'all, he knows he loves being here with me. He's not crazy about the camera, but I did talk him into helping me out some today. Hope you guys are doing good. Hey Carolyn, I'm so glad you're here. So what I'm doing today is we're doing something a little different because I know that so many of you, we have new people joining us, and so many people are used to doing door hangers. Maybe they're not used to doing yard art, and maybe y'all live far away and you don't want to spend the money on blanks. So if you're a person who wants to cut your own yard art, or you've been curious about how we've done it all these years, this is definitely the video for you. Hey Amanda, hey Claudia, I'm glad y'all are here. So Bruce is my husband, my #1 partner in crime, but mostly my friend. We've been married for a long time, and 30 something, I guess. And he's always willing to go along with any kooky plans I have. So what I have in front of me today is a piece of 5x5 Baltic birch. I'm gonna move the camera around just a little. Oh, I love his shirt. Bruce, let everybody see your shirt.
Oh yeah.
I tried to retire, but now I work for my wife. He always wears that shirt. It's ridiculous.
Everybody gets a laugh out of it.
Everybody gets a laugh out of it, but he does whatever he wants, y'all. He works, does whatever he wants. But anyway, I know a lot of you can't find, or you've said you couldn't find MDO. And so what I did today is I went to, hey Nance, how are you? Hey Cindy, hey Amanda, and Roberta, how are y'all? I went to our local hardware store, our local lumber yard, which for us is Pearland Lumber, Ace Lumber. And I bought a piece of 5x5 Baltic birch, so it's 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide. It's kind of different than what your normal 4x8 sheet of plywood might be. So what I'm going to do today is Bruce is going to demo cutting out using his jigsaw. Hey Ashley. And I have my trusty little pattern here that I made today, and I'm going to show y'all how we used to cut it. When y'all know we have a CNC now, but we used to cut yard art like this for years and years.
You used to do it indoors too. The wind wants
Yeah,
to blow.
of course the minute we decide to get out here, the wind wants to blow. Okay, so we lay down our graphite paper. I got this, and you just lay your paper wherever you want it to, wherever you're going to put your pattern, right?
Wide enough? Maybe.
I don't know. I might not have gotten enough. Let's see. So I made this pattern, y'all. Hold on, let's see. Can y'all see it? Oh, just turn it around this way. Well, no, you're right, you're right. Don't you think, Bruce? Maybe it's not wide enough. Okay. I made this Santa Claus pattern because it's that time of year. Y'all might be wanting to do some Santa stuff. So notice that we've got his feet. Okay, I'm gonna go get some carbon paper in just a minute. Notice how we have his feet right here on the edge, because you don't want to waste any more of this than what you absolutely have to. You want to use every piece of this board that you can. I think this was $32.99. Let's go up a little bit. Okay, you got that? Bruce, I can put this like, you satisfied with that? Let me get out. Okay, so I'm going to run in the house and get some more carbon paper. Hey Sandra, hey Loopy, hey Kathy, and Joanne, I'm so glad y'all are here. Hold on a second, I'm gonna get some more paper.
Everybody's here, huh?
Everybody's here. So what we're gonna do,
Yeah.
how much do we need? Huh?
Pens and pencils?
Yes. Oh, I thought we needed more carbon paper.
Well, no. Yeah, right here on this.
Okay. Let's do it this way.
Make sure you're ready for the next one.
Okay, here we go. So I put leave it down there. We have to have one more piece.
No one has to. But just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You can get carbon paper, y'all, just about anywhere. That you can go to Amazon, Texas Art Supply, any of your art supply places. So notice that Bruce and I have done this for years, and we don't draw the whole pattern. Hey Ava, Ava says I joined the academy. Yay! Huh?
We are this time, aren't we?
No.
Oh, you're going to base coat it?
I'm going to base coat it.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to draw the outside of the pattern. We're not drawing the inside, y'all. Somebody tell me why we're not drawing the inside at this point. There is a reason, there is a method to my madness. Whatever that may be. Now I know that oh Lord. Hold on a minute, y'all.
Fine, what the?
Nothing like the wind coming along and messing up your situation here. There we go. So I'm drawing along the outside here. I'm not drawing the inside. And that's all we're going to do right this second. So I don't cut it wrong? Well, that would be one thing. I didn't think about that. I am going to base coat. Yes, Donna, you're right. I'm going to base coat and then I'm going to trace the inside. Y'all, there's no point in...
Lay it on there and do it again.
There's no point in base coating or drawing the inside and then base coating on top of that. There's no point in that. I need this to come. Hold on a second. Can you help me for a second? Okay. There we go. You done up there? Okay. So we got that. All right. So we got our pattern traced out. Now, I forgot to mention too, y'all, by the way, I happen to know of a place that you can buy this paper pattern should you desire to. It's this place called Yard Art RS. Okay? It's right in here. It's a, it comes with, I'm going to show y'all, a suggested paint list right here. Not saying you have to follow it. You don't have to follow it. That's up to you. But it also comes with a photo just for reference should you want to do it like that. Okay? And if you go to yardartorus.com, you will see a little navigation on that navigational bar. You'll see paper patterns. If you'll hover over that, that's where it's listed. Okay, so just in case you would want to buy the pattern, and this pattern is 48 inches tall. The Santa's 48 inches tall by 25 inches wide. Okay. Hey Joanne, she says great tip. Thank you. Hi Wanda and Amy and Vicky. I'm glad y'all are here. Now we're gonna let the pro do what he does, and y'all don't go away because I have one more tip, a couple of more tips for today's video. All right.
Can I make some noise?
Yes, Bruce is gonna make some noise now, y'all. Okay. Coming back over this way? Yes, if you order a paper pattern, we send it. You do not need an app. We send you the big piece of paper that you just saw a little earlier in the mail. I think I do. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to hold the camera. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry about that, y'all.
That's why I said, you got that?
I got that. Okay, y'all. Now, I didn't talk because I wanted y'all to hear the whine of that saw, because that's just kind of the way a saw happens to go. So, if you decide to buy the paper pattern, you'll get the big piece of paper that you saw earlier. You don't need an app. The paper is life-size, so to speak. Okay?
Now I'll go back and finish everything.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let the viewers know, why did you choose to do it this way?
Well, it'll make a pretty sharp turn, but you can do a better an inside corner if you come back and hit it later.
Okay, so
To
you're gonna
make it
come
real
back
sharp.
from this direction. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to put it to where the viewers
It's
can
just
see it.
getting too hard to reach.
Okay. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna try to get over there where y'all can.
That's a little holly on me.
Okay, so that's the holly. Okay. So you come at it from each direction on the inside corner.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, he's almost finished. I'm gonna put this back over here. Y'all hold on just a second. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. He's got a few more inside corners. Let me dust this off just a little bit, and I'm going to show y'all. We now have our 48-inch Santa, right? Now, we didn't draw the inside lines because I'm going to show you just a second what we're going to do. All right? You want to put that thing back up? We're going to put this piece of Baltic birch right back up on the sawhorses. Okay? Now, not saying you have to do it this way, but this is how we do it just because it's faster. If you want to cut more than one of these, lay it up here on your sawhorse and just basically trace around it again, okay? So he's going to do that side. I'm going to start here. We're going to trace around this again. And then sometime later, he'll cut this other one out. He's not going to do that for the video today. And then I'll have 2 Santas that I can paint for my yard art. I like to use pencil, y'all, because I just think the wood takes pencil a little better than ink, but it really doesn't matter. Use whatever you got. So now we have our second Santa already traced on here, and sometime later, he'll go and cut that one, okay? So this one, you'll hand me that. I'm gonna show him what we're gonna do next. All right, y'all, I have this. I'm gonna try to pull this camera up here a little bit closer. Just a second, we're on a rolling cart, y'all. Okay, so I'm still not ready to draw my inside lines, okay? I'm gonna get all the sawdust off of here, like that. And once all that sawdust is off, if I had, oh, y'all, nothing like having a little Swiss broom. I didn't see this. I have one on this cart right here. I just usually have a little broom laying around and I do that. So what I'm gonna do now is I have my white paint, and y'all know I love to keep everything in a freezer bag. This is a gallon-sized freezer bag, okay? Put this over here. I'm going to go ahead and put, y'all will only see one coat, but I'm going to actually put 2 coats of white paint on here. I'm going to roller 1 coat on. I'm going to let it dry. This is just a 6-inch, 3/4 napped roller. So something like this, I would have a napped roller simply because this is going to be a lot faster than a brush, y'all. You can do this a lot faster with a roller than you could ever do it with a brush. So what am I doing? I'm just putting that top coat on. And I'm making sure I get it everywhere. I usually go up and down, just like you see me. And then I will go left to right. Why? I want to make sure I'm getting this whole space covered. And at this point, what I'll do is I'll let this dry. And I won't come on tonight, but tomorrow, by tomorrow, I'll have 2 dry white coats on here. And then I can show you tomorrow how we would get to the next step. And the next step is simply tracing that pattern on. We plan on having a lot of paper patterns eventually, y'all, but we don't have them on the website yet because it's a lot of work to get them on there. So I have this guy fully painted. Y'all can see, using a roller, it took me, I don't know, a minute and a half to paint it. Not that long. So what I do is I've got my roller. I'm gonna stick this in a freezer bag. You can tell I'm not gonna wash this out all the time. That's ridiculous. I don't have that much patience. I stick it in my bag upside down, and I just have a clamp, y'all. Upside down, twist that around, put a clamp on it. I had him drill a hole in this handle, and in my art room there's a nail, and it'll slide right on that nail, and it hangs upside down. That way any excess paint will just be here in the bottom of the bag, and that's no problem. I don't have a problem with that. You don't want it this way where excess paint is falling down on the handle. So always want to hang it with a hole. I got a nail in the wall, and it'll just slide on there. So tomorrow I'm gonna come on, actually tonight I'll put another coat of paint on here, and then tomorrow I'll come on, I'll trace this, and I'll talk to y'all about base coating, and I'll talk to you about tracing out that pattern. So you can see, really, if you're a person who you don't like the digital download, or you don't like having to print it out and tape all those pieces together, because we have a big printer, we can print these paper patterns. So if that's something you're interested in, I think Ashley's already put the link there, and you can buy that pattern. We'll print it. We'll ship it to you. You can come back and watch this and make as many Santas as you want. So hope you guys are doing great. Also remember, our academy is open until I think Sunday night. We close again, and I don't know that we will open till probably next spring. I don't look for us to try to open in January. Y'all, it's a lot of work to open that up. It takes a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes to make all that happen. So if you're interested in the academy, go to yardartacademy.com. and you'll see everything that you need to know there if you're interested in joining the academy. Other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, it's Mary at Yard Art Us. I hope you guys are doing great, and I'm coming on because yesterday we cut out a Santa and base coated it all white. So today I'm gonna come back on with that same Santa, and I'm just gonna show you what I would do if I wanted to trace a pattern. Now obviously I have a CNC, but for many years I did not. And this is how I did this for many years. So you guys hop on and say hello, let me know you're here. I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff right here and fix this. Hey Joanne, how are you? I am gonna show you guys what I would do and how I would do this if I were going to trace the pattern on. This is what I did for years before we got a CNC. So yesterday we came on and Bruce cut this out, and we traced on the perimeter of that whole pattern using this graphite paper. Now this is a fairly long piece. I think it's a 4-foot piece. You can get graphite paper at Amazon, at Michael's, all kinds of stores. So notice that yesterday when we cut that, we did not draw all these lines because I knew I was going to come back and I put 2 coats of white. So you cut it out, put 2 coats of white primer on there. Joanne says, I'm good, I ordered this in, I can't wait to make. Oh, good. I think I saw that order come through. I'm going to try to get that printed tomorrow and maybe shipped out to you on Monday. So this is the pattern that Joanne's talking about that we used yesterday. It's a pattern that I printed on our big printer. This one is 48 inches. The Santa's 48 inches tall by 25 inches wide. And I'm going to show you what I would do. Now, this is a scenario, honestly, y'all, I use my fingers more than my eyes on this part. And that's just the way I've always done it. So I'm not going to sit here and try to look through this paper and look and look and look and look and look. That's not me. I don't have the patience for that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take my fingers, and I know there's my feet, and I'm going to pull this right here, right? I can feel my finger where that black line is meeting where those feet are. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to turn this kind of this way. I feel with my fingers and make sure it's not perfect. I don't worry about it being perfect, but I can run my finger around that perimeter, and I know based on what I'm feeling that I'm good to go. So that's just something that I do. Debbie says spread the love. That would be great if we could get y'all to share. That is probably the most powerful thing that y'all could do for us. And I'm going to get a pen. I thought I had one right here. Or I did have one, but oh yeah, it's under here. But yeah, if y'all could spread the love, that would be great. So I use my fingers and I just feel for where I'm at, okay? Yeah, I'm good. Now, I have done this more years than I can count, so I'm pretty fast at drawing the pattern on. I don't sit here and I don't go, you know, try to be all perfect and be all slow. Nope. I just kind of go pretty doggone quick because I know as long as that basic is there, most all of this is going to get covered up anyway. So I just kind of go through here, draw my lines pretty quick. Again, I'm not worried about them being real perfect. But as long as they're kind of there and they're my guide, your lines are going to be your guide, right? So as long as you've got a guideline there, you should be good. I'm going to come over here and do this other one. And then of course I draw that. And here's his beard. There's the tail of the cap. Here would be the 3 pieces of holly. And then of course you have your mistletoe. And then this part would be the cuff of that white hat. And then of course I'm coming around his face. I don't want to talk too much because I want to make sure I get all of this done without missing anything. You don't have to worry about being really precise. Just kind of get close and you should be fine. Alright, I got all that. I think I got that. I think I got that. Now, if you're not sure, just pick this paper up like this. Hold your hand right here. Keep your position. Pull it back and look. Okay, looks like I got pretty much all of it that I wanted down there. I did miss this little part right here of that shoe. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold my hand here. I'm going to flap this over and I'm going to look. Alrighty, I missed one little spot at the top. Other than that, I'm good. I'm going to flap this right back down. Okay. I'm just going to kind of reposition it, feel it with my fingers, and I'm going to do this line that I forgot a while ago. Other than that, I'm good. Let me show you. I'm going to take this, I'll probably throw it on the floor. I'll pick up my graphite paper, it's just my habit, okay, and I'll go ahead and fold it the way it's supposed to be folded, like that. And I'll fold it here, like that. This is how the graphite paper will come. Now there's carbon paper, y'all, and there's graphite paper. Hey Ava, hey Kathy, how are y'all? Kathleen says, I wish I could find MDO in upstate New York. This is actually Baltic birch. Kathleen, if you can't find MDO, try to find a birch or a Baltic birch. One of the lives that I'm gonna do at the end, it won't be today, it'll probably be the next couple days, we're gonna use this as an edge sealer on this Baltic birch. That'll help get you the longevity that you're looking for on these sides, because the moisture, if it comes in anywhere, it's going to be the sides. So try birch. I'm not familiar enough with New York to know, but down here in Texas, they like pine a lot. But y'all, pine is a real soft wood, so I would try to stay away from pine if I could. Birch would be a better, or even an oak might be good. Okay? So I have, just so y'all know, my sister Paula already base coated one of these for me, right? So I'm going to base coat this other one though to show y'all kind of how we would do it. Now there's all kinds of ways to base coat. To me, this big white coat of paint is my primer coat. Now when I say base coat, I'm fixing to base coat my colors, my reds, my greens, my yellows, all that kind of stuff. I'm very low on yellow paint. My bad, y'all. I should have been more prepared, but you know how that goes. Kathy says I use a different color and I tend to get lost. I hear you. It's easy to do. Now, because this is such a big area of the yellow, I don't have the patience, y'all, to mop brush this, okay? I'm gonna mop brush some other parts, and this is what a mop brush looks like. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of load my roller pretty good. Now I'm seeing already that I've got trash in this paint. I'm gonna show you what I do to deal with that, okay? Now I'm just kind of going up and down, top to bottom, loading that roller. And what I do is that this is just a small roller that you can get at any paint store, hardware store, doesn't matter, no particular brand. I just kind of go this way. Now I wouldn't use this roller on a small part, but because my scroll, this is a yellow scroll, is so large, I can get away with using this roller, not to mention it's going to be a lot faster. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to kind of come in here. Of course, I always do my edges the same color that I do my base coat in. Now, I'm looking at y'all and I see trash in this paint. So, what I normally do is this, because you're going to see it. No, this isn't foam, Joanne. It's a napped roller, a fabric, if you will, or napped roller. Hold on, let me see if I can show it to you. I'll show you one. This is what it looked like before I put paint on it. So it's just a small white napped roller. Okay, you can get them at Sherwin-Williams, Home Depot, whatever. I have a bunch of these because I use a lot of rollers. So when I see trash and paint, I just take it with my finger and I wipe it off right over here. And that's all I do. Or sometimes I wipe it on the table, y'all. Whatever feels most convenient for me at the time. Now, I think it was Ginger. Earlier, she had posted in the Academy, she was having trouble with the yellow paint covering. And I think she said she used white underneath it and some other colors. She's tried all kinds of things. And she's just getting real frustrated and just about ready to throw her hands up. And I could totally get it. So, if you're having trouble, now I'm not having any trouble right here. But again, I used a roller and I had a big area. But if you are having trouble, then what I want you to do is I want you to take your yellow paint and I want you to squeeze a little bit of white paint into the yellow paint, okay? Now when I say little bit, so I don't have much paint in here, y'all. There's not much in there. So this is not a good example. But let's say I had this much yellow paint in the bottom, for example. I would probably squeeze about this much white, just a little bit, okay? And of course I would put the lid back on, like that. And I cover this and I would shake and 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 shake. The problem with yellow, y'all, is it's very transparent. It's like a red. And when something's transparent like that, y'all, sorry about that. I'm trying to move it over here. When something's transparent like that, there's no opacity to cover. So if I would not put white and red paint, but you can get away with yellow paint, putting some white in it, shaking the heck out of it, or mixing it up with a spoon, or whatever you need to do, and that will help that yellow cover. Now, you might think, well, if I put white in it, isn't that going to change the shade of the yellow a little bit? Yes, it is. So it's a trade-off, there's no question. But it's part of what you have to do to make things work. If this were a little bit lighter yellow, who cares? People are not going to care. They're really not going to even know. So if I had this much yellow paint in my bottle, I'd probably put that much white paint, okay? And shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right. Start with a little bit of white paint, shake it up. If that doesn't work, put a little bit more. Don't get all crazy and put a bunch of white paint in there, because then you really kind of have this very, very light pastel, almost a spring color yellow. And that's not, I don't think that's what you might want. All right, so that's a way to deal with yellow. Now you can look at my coverage right here and it's pretty good. But I had a lot of yellow on that roller and I used a roller and it was with white. Now, if you have a small area, you can't use a roller because obviously it's too big. So let me show you a couple of things that I would do. Let me put some paint over here, get this out of my way. When you're base coating, y'all, these are your friends, okay? This is what I base coat with. Some mop brushes, some round brushes, worn out script liners. That's what I base coat with. Notice, hold on a second. That's what I base coat with. Notice I'm not using a flat tip brush. If you can get a good amount of paint with a flat tip brush on there as a base coat, well, God bless you. I can't. So if you're happy using these and you're getting the results you want, then there's no need to change. If you're not happy using something like this, try a mop brush, or this is a mop brush. They're all kind of worn out, but that's okay. This is really a round brush, okay? But the thing about these is they're a little bit softer, and you do have a lot of bristles there, so that is gonna pick up a lot of paint. That's why you want a base coat with them. So let's start with his face. So Santa has, hold on a second to get it over here. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more where y'all can maybe see it a little bit better. I have my flesh. Now what I do is I just kind of put that on there, and I'm gonna load this brush. This is a script liner that's kind of worn out. And I just go over here and I script line, really using this mop. I treat it like a small mop brush is what I'm doing, basically. That's what I'm doing. Treating a script liner as a small mop brush. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of cover his face. Of course, we're gonna do some shading and all that stuff, but not this very second. And you're just gonna work around his eyes, around his mustache, something like that. And when I have an area like this, I try to make a little bit longer strokes. That way, if you make really, really short strokes, then you're gonna be there working a long time. Let's see, is it a foam roller? I said no. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Thanks, Joanne. Do you those rollers for sealer? Really, I haven't been using rollers for sealer lately. I've been using wall edgers. It's like when you go to Sherwin-Williams or whatever and you see those little edge pad looking things. That's usually what I've been using, unless, Juanella, unless you're talking glitter. If I'm gonna poly and glitter, I do use a roller, okay? So just polying, I usually use a wall edger. And if it's poly and glitter, I will use a roller. Okay, so I've just about got my flesh here the way I want it. Just got a little bit more. And notice I'm not shy with the amount of paint that I'm putting down, because I know that I want this to really cover. So I'm just going at it this way. Okay, just about got the face done. So just in the short amount of time, and of course, if I wasn't doing a live and talking and reading comments, I would be going a lot faster. But for the purposes of really trying to show you guys what I do and why I do it, it's kind of important that I don't go too fast. This is his mouth or his lip down here, so I'm going to come down here and just put some some flesh color there. All right, that's what I use for a light flesh tone. If you want a darker flesh tone, you could use nutmeg or something like it. Or you could use, this is the nutmeg color for a dark flesh tone, or a medium flesh tone, you could use something like that. So it depends on, if you're going for light, medium, dark flesh tone. It just really depends on what you're going for, okay? Depends on what you're going for. Now, I've got my face done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse that out. And I know that I've got green for my holly, for my mistletoe, red for my holly, and I've got green here. Of course, I've got red on the hat. So let's think about what's the best thing to do. I think I'm gonna do green, y'all. And the reason I'm gonna do green is because I got lots and lots of red to do. But that red is going to be over here on this side. So I have a round brush right now, and I'm just going to slap some green on there on his mitten. Okay? Something like that. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. You're going to come back and put a lot of shading and highlighting on it. You'll cover a lot of that up anyway. So I got my green over here. These are his mittens. So his mittens are going to be green, y'all. Alright, so we got Santa's mittens, and this is my mistletoe. So what I'm gonna do on something like that, what I like to do, when you're talking about a fairly small area, right? I just kind of load up this brush and I just take that script liner and treat it like a small mop brush. There you go. You got that. And then I'm gonna come in here and do like this. And this is just all mistletoe. Notice that I don't worry about, you know, making everything look perfect, making everything look just wonderful, because I know a lot of this is going to get covered up anyway. But what I do take the time to do is I do take the time to paint my edges while I have that green on the brush. Amy says, hey Mary, hey, how are you? Hey Jerry, how are you? Y'all tell me, are y'all painting on things today? I hope y'all are going to be painting Christmas or Halloween, fall stuff pretty soon. It's that time of year. It's already what, September the 16th? I can't believe it, y'all. Amy, I think Amy joined the academy today. If I remember right, I thought I saw your name come through. Okay, now I've got my green, I've got my flesh. Now I know that I've got a lot of red. So listen up, okay? Nancy says she's painting fall today. Girl, you know it's that time of year. All right. So we talked about getting yellow to cover, right? So we got to talk about red. Red, you will sometimes love, and red, sometimes you will hate. And the thing about red is it's great. Technology is such that it's pretty good until you try to make it cover white. I went ahead and primered this whole thing white because there's so much white on Santa. So what I did and what I'll do is I will kind of sometimes put my hand up under here, and I'm going to take this mop brush, and before I even start trying to mop or paint, I'm going to go and I'm going to load that up, okay? I want you to pay attention to how much red I have. The reason I have so much red on here is because I know if I don't, I will never get this red to cover the white unless I use like 13 coats. And even then, it's still not gonna look good. Ain't nobody gonna use that many coats. So what I try to do is I try to spread that red with this mop brush on top of the white in such a fashion that I'm really have zero pressure on my brush. Very, very little pressure and a lot of paint. If you don't, you're gonna see a lot of white underneath that red. And the thing about Santa, y'all, you really want that Santa red. Sometimes colors you can kind of fudge on, but I don't think Santa's one of them. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna still put quite a bit of paint here. I'm gonna set this mop brush down for just a second. Cuz, gotta go. Okay, I have a good, oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Kathy's my cousin. She lives in San Antonio, y'all. Her dad and my dad were brothers. Neither one of them are here anymore. They both have passed. So getting to see her on the lives and stuff just really makes me think about old memories. You know how it is when you talk about when you're with family that you grew up with. So, all right, I've got this small script liner that I'm treating as a mop brush. And notice I'm putting quite a bit of red paint on here. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you don't, you're going to see a lot of white underneath that red, and you're going to be really frustrated. And nobody wants to be frustrated. Y'all, I've been so frustrated, not because of painting, but because of, y'all know I got hacked on Facebook and they shut me down. And how are you going to try to run a business on something like what I'm doing without a Facebook profile? It has been a challenge, y'all, I must say. Okay, so I've got this red, and I'm just evening it out. That's all I'm doing. There's a lot of red paint on here. Now, if you're going to put a lot of red paint on here, do yourself a favor and do not put this in direct sunlight to dry, because if you do, that red paint's going to crackle. And you're not going to be happy because you don't really want it. Even if it does crackle, y'all, I'd cover it up. I'd cover up the crackles with, what do you call it? So much shading and highlighting they wouldn't even know it. Okay. All right, so let's turn this around a little bit. So you can see I've got lots of paint there. kind of even that out. That's the white ball of his hat, right? Of course, this would be that white cuff. Oh, I'm just getting stuff everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna come in here, and again, I'm just gonna squirt some of this red paint. When I know I need to use a lot of paint, I don't mess with the little jars. I just squirt it directly onto the Santa or whatever I'm painting. And I'm just gonna kind of come in here, and I'm gonna just very lightly touch the board with my brush. Okay? There we go. But once, honestly, y'all, I don't really care for base coating that much. I really like the shading and highlighting. But now, if you've not done a lot of shading and highlighting, you might enjoy the base coating a lot more than what I would, just because I probably have base coated for 100 years, and after a while you're like, okay. But when I'm shading and highlighting, y'all, it's always so much fun. All right, Ava says, I was just getting ready to ask you about your Facebook account. Ava, I tell you what, girl, when I tell you I have spent probably 40 or 50 hours of my life that I cannot get back, they have restored my business account, which is good, but no go on my personal account. And when I say my business account, what I mean is I can run Facebook ads. Well, technically, I can't run Facebook ads because I still cannot see my Facebook business account. Other people that I've named as administrators can see it. And they got the hacker off my business account, so that's good. But y'all, I was naive. I thought, well, since the business account is fixed, the personal's gonna get fixed. Nope, doesn't work that way. So that's why y'all see me coming on sometimes as Ashley or Bruce. And I don't really have a good feeling about it, y'all. I wish I did, because I have like 13 days before they permanently disable my account, and I've live chatted with them to see where they're at, and they just keep saying they're investigating. Whether they are actually investigating or not, I have no clue. But that's what they say, and of course, what do you do? There's nothing you can do. It's been a real kind of helpless feeling, y'all. Talk about, and I don't do helpless, y'all. I don't do good with helpless. But here we are. You see me being helpless. It's like, I don't know about that, y'all. So anyway, the Facebook, they removed the hacker from my Facebook business account, so that's good. I still can't see anything, y'all, because the way that works is my personal profile is the profile that launched the business page. So since my personal profile is not up, I cannot access my own business page, if that makes any sense. All right, so here's the tail of my scroll. So what I'm gonna do is I've got my brown brush here, and I'm just gonna do that right quick, because I couldn't use a roller on this part, y'all. You can't get a roller in that small of an area. So I just used a little, basically it's a worn out script liner. So even your script liners, if they get worn out, don't throw them away. Yeah, Joanne says, wow. It has been, y'all, it's been stressful, because I think the whole thing is when you don't have any control, you know how as humans, y'all, we do not like that. I don't like that, and I think most of us don't. And I didn't do anything wrong. There's that. That would have been one thing, y'all. And I certainly didn't do what they accused me of doing, which was some pretty raunchy stuff. Y'all see what I do on my Facebook? I talk about yard art and dogs. That's it. I don't talk about nothing else. I try to keep it safe. Rated G, y'all. Rated G. Keep it rated G. And I was going to say keep it rated G and you'll be safe, but that's not even true. That's not true. I kept it rated G, and y'all see what happened to me. So much for that idea. All right, so I've got that, and I'm just basically just taking that red paint, very light. I don't have much pressure on there. Very, very light pressure. Almost enough where I don't even touch the board if at all possible. You still have to touch it, but almost none. No pressure. Okay, got that. Now we're going to come down here and work on his feet. On his feet, I see that this is a yellow buckle. So I'm going to get that yellow script liner right back out. And let's see if I can find it, y'all. So, you know what? Well, Ava, the whole thing about a business page is, how can I say this? Maybe I'll address this next year in the academy because, how can I say this in a nice way? Setting up a business page on Facebook is, I can't say that it's necessarily real difficult, but there's so many details and every detail matters, if that makes any sense. And unfortunately, I've learned the hard way. And you know, and still, I didn't do anything wrong, but you still see what position I'm in. So there you go. Take that for what it's worth. But I haven't done anything in the academy on teaching that just because first of all, they change things so much. And second of all, teaching something that I can control is cool. Teaching something that I have no control over, because y'all know Facebook can come in at any moment and change everything, and they do. And then, you know, you're listening to me saying, well, do it this way. And then, you know, in 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 days, it doesn't work that way anymore. So it's frustrating in that even if you set it up, they go in there and they change it so much that you just cannot keep up. And then you're constantly feeling like you're behind the 8 ball. I said it one day, y'all, here's my analogy. I don't know if it's a good one or not. So my husband, oh, y'all, I'm doing reindeer brown on here in case y'all didn't, I didn't tell you. Hey, Kimberly, how are you doing? Kim, I am just trying to work and keep my head above water, but I haven't forgotten you on those blanks. I know we're going to have a bunch more at the store on Saturday. I don't know exactly which ones, but I promise you we will do a post on Saturday when those get here. So anyway, I was talking about teaching Facebook. I don't think I can teach Facebook because I just feel so frustrated when they go in there and change things. And of course, they're not going to tell me or you that they're going to change. They just change it and you deal with it or you don't. So here's how it feels. My husband does not do anything digital or social media at all. Okay? Not his thing, not his bag. Of course, he's had to listen to me complain about it, y'all. Yeah, it does. Every time they update, it messes up something else. Absolutely true, Debbie. So one day I was, you know, having a little tirade, and poor guy, he has to listen to me because he lives with me. And he said, I don't understand why you're so frustrated, you know. And I said, honey, I said, remember your first car that you drove? I think for him it was a Cougar. A Cougar. Back then they had these cars that were called Cougars. And I said, imagine you driving that first car and you learned how to drive that it wasn't a brand new car for him because he always fixed everything up. So I'm sure he got it out of the junkyard and fixed it up. And then you were driving it and you learned to drive it where the stick shift was, where the steering wheel was, where the speedometer was, where the, you know, to open the door, all that. And somebody came along overnight and got inside your Cougar and changed it and said, you know, the brake pedal used to be down here. I think we'll move it over there. You know, the steering wheel used to be here. I think we're going to put it up there. You know how the car knob used to be over here to open the door? We're going to stick it on the dash. The radio used to be on the dash. We're going to put it over here on the console. And so I was giving him that analogy, and y'all, he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, what are you talking about? That's not even possible. I said, yes, it is if you're Facebook. Yes, it is. So anytime you're looking for something, they move it. And then, you know, of course, they're not going to tell you. So that's part of what I've dealt with. And, well, not just me, anybody who's dealt with Facebook. Especially the business page because, you know, you're spending money in there on ads and stuff like that. So you're trying to make sure that, you know, you're spending your money right. And so when I gave Bruce that analogy about the vehicle, you know, they moved the steering wheel, they moved the brake, they moved the accelerator, they moved the gear shift, they moved the console. He just looked at me like he goes, okay, I get it now. Yeah. All right. So here's the white cup. Yes, Joanna, I sure am. I'm gonna paint these, the straps and the bases are gonna be black. Now you can paint the boots any color. You could have painted, I could have painted these boots black and given them a yellow strap with the black buckle, but I chose to just do it this way. And so I'm gonna come in here again. I just have a round, you can get a round brush, a small round brush, or a script liner and do this, okay? There we go. And then of course I'm gonna come down here. So when I gave Bruce that analogy, he's like, oh, I can see why you're frustrated. It's like, yeah. So, and then y'all, I work on a Mac in my office, but some of that printer that prints those patterns, it has to work on a PC. So I'm having to constantly, if I'm running the printer, remember, okay, you're not on your Mac, you're on a PC. So, you know, it's like totally different operating system. I think I can handle that pretty much okay, but the whole social media thing, you know, has me feeling not so great about that. But I think a lot of people have experienced it, so I always tell myself, hey, you're not the only one. Everybody who's dealt with it feels that. But I don't have a good feeling that my personal profile is going to be restored, but maybe it is. I wish I had an answer, y'all. Okay. So I have him painted as far as base coated the way I want him. All right? Yeah, exactly. Debbie said with social media being used so much, they can break a business pretty easy. Yes, they can. I'm blessed, Debbie, in that we have a retail front. Well, I don't know if blessed is the right word, but I guess it is. A retail store, and we have a website. And a lot of people know who we are. But yes, I felt the financial strain because I can't run ads and I can't do all the things that I know I need to do that would help us bring money into the business. So, I don't know. I paint boots black and use gold on the strap. Yep, you sure can. I've done that a lot too, Roberta, so I'm with you on that. Nance says, my dad's social media management, and I feel your pain. Nance, am I crazy, or do they really change things so often? It seems like, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but it does seem like they change things really a lot. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. Now, I want to show y'all this. So my sister Paula did this for me this afternoon, and she's a pretty good base coater. She's base coated off and on with me for a long time. Honestly, y'all, she's probably better at base coating than I am. Well, she likes to base coat, so that helps. Okay, they change too often, and I have to learn again. See, I get it. And part of it is I know they want to change to stay up with the times, or to do research, or to experiment and do things different. And I think that part is good. If they would educate, that would help. See, like, you know, in my business, I try to educate the customer or whoever's with me. Maybe it's y'all, I'm teaching this, or a customer comes over and asks for something and I can't give it to them. I'll say, you know, I can't do that, and here's why. So I think the link that is missing is there's no education or explanation, and it feels like they don't care. I don't know if I'm just taking that personal, or I don't know, but that's how it feels. Okay, now I want to take the camera and I'm going to show y'all something. Now, pardon me, y'all, it's going to be a little bumpy, but it's important, I think, for y'all to see this. And because he's so big, I got to kind of move him around. Now, Paula base coated this guy for me today, right? And I think she did a great job. Remember, I started with 2 coats of a white primer, and then we drew the pattern on, and then Paula base coated the colors. But what I was going to point out to you is this. Do you see? This is what I call ghosting, but it's important because the reason I'm pointing it out is you draw that pattern using that graphite paper, but you want that ghosting there. The reason you want that is you're going to need that when it comes time to do your shading. So the moral of the story is this. With your graphite paper, when you're drawing that pattern, always remember every line you draw, for the most part, even though you paint over it, depending on the color, may ghost through here, okay? So if you've got a stray line out here and you think, okay, I'm just gonna cover up this stray line with some white paint, nah, it ain't gonna work that way. It's not gonna cover it up. So that graphite paper will bleed through the paint. Now, obviously, some colors it's gonna bleed through more than others. I mean, yellow, it's really gonna bleed through there a lot. But you want that because that's gonna show me, right, where I wanna come through when I'm doing that. So I just wanted to do this video. Now tomorrow I'm gonna come back on and I'm going to do some shading on this guy, and I'm gonna do some outlining, some highlighting, and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'm trying to retire and paint. They don't care at all. See, Nancy, it kind of feels that way to me, and I don't try to take things personally. I'm always the kind of person that when something happens, I'm like, oh, this probably happens to everybody, or it happens to a lot of people. Don't take it personal. But whenever you're accused of something real raunchy and you have no control and you know you didn't do it and it's affecting your business, it's not cool. It's not cool. It is what it is. I got to find a way to live with it. And y'all, some days I do pretty good, other days I don't. Okay. So anyway, I hope that me showing you guys how to transfer a pattern using that graphite paper, talking to you about those lines and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so Nancy, you manage 10 businesses accounts. Oh my lands. I don't even know how you do it. I couldn't do it. I don't think I'm that smart. That's a lot of, you got to have a lot going on, a lot of detail and all that kind of stuff. And so while I've learned this much about social media, I know that there's only this much to learn. It's like I can't imagine how you do that. But yeah, it is. And we had a girl helping us with a Pinterest one day, and she had a little meltdown, and she just said, I can't help you. They've changed Pinterest so much, I don't even know what I'm doing. And I felt so sorry for her because she had a lot of clients that depended on her for Pinterest. But that was last year. So I don't know. We don't have a Pinterest account, but hopefully one day we'll get one. But anyway, hopefully I'm going to come back on tomorrow. I'm going to show you how to take this from a base coat look, what we have right here. And tomorrow we're going to finish this guy. We're going to do all the shading. And then I'm going to wait. Tomorrow's Friday. Then Saturday I'm going to come on and I'm going to have a whole class about how I would put lettering on here. Because there's a couple of different options that you have. This is a scroll, right? A Santa's list, if you will. So you can put names on here or you don't have to. It's up to you. But a lot of times for people that buy this at the store, they want me to put names on it. And there's several different ways you can do that. So we'll talk probably that on Saturday. But tomorrow I'll come on and I'll do this. So hopefully y'all got some stuff down. I know some of you have ordered the paper pattern. We'll be printing those out in the next couple of days and probably go out on Monday. And you can watch this. Charlene, I have answered that in your email. You're going to have to do several things. First of all, you're going to have to look at what your competition is doing. Second of all, you're going to have to look at what you have in terms of cost. And understand, Charlene, that you're asking a very complicated question. So that's something you have to decide. And the most important thing, what you have to decide in your heart of hearts, what do you believe that it's worth in terms of your time? On this guy, he's 48 inches tall. I'm going to charge with a name. Of course, I'll let the customer choose what they want to do on the name. Like in the video, I might go ahead and put a name on here just to show y'all. I'll probably sand it off. But anyway, I would charge on a 4-foot one probably no less than 100. And me, with my following, I think I can get 139 for it. 129, 139, somewhere around in there. Something like that. But also understand, I got a lot of bills to pay. You may not want to charge that much. You may want to charge that much. It depends on the area. I am in a area where there's a lot of jobs. If you're in a small town where economically it's very difficult and people are struggling, you're going to have to bring that price way down. I happen to be in Pearland, which is a suburb of Houston, so I can pull that. But of course I have more bills than somebody who lived in a smaller town. So it's a lot of different things. Hopefully I help answer that in some way. But in your heart of hearts, you're gonna have to set that price and go with that. Lou says, your handwriting is so pretty. You know, I think I have that, I call it the teacher 101 handwriting. You know, like the teacher on the board always did the handwriting. teach your handwriting. I don't know if that's good or bad, but thank you so much for that. I've just I don't try to do calligraphy. I don't try to make special. There's so many ladies out there that just do a mind-blowing job on lettering. They just do a great job. Some of them just make it swoopy and round, and it looks gorgeous. Unfortunately, I've never been one of those. Unfortunately. What about the Joy Snowman? Okay, so is that the 3-piece one, Ava? I think it's the 3-piece one. So typically what I've been doing, especially, and remember the whole COVID thing has got things kind of shook up. Typically on that, if that Joy is 32 inches tall and it's a 3-piece, I don't think I would sell it for less than $189. I would probably sell it anywhere from $189 to $229 to $249, somewhere around in there, depending. Again, I have a following. Again, I'm in a fairly good area that's not economically depressed, if that makes sense. People have jobs around here is what I'm trying to say. Of course, they have bills too, because the cost of living here is a lot higher than, you know, a small town. So anywhere from $189 to $229, something like that, $239, $249, yeah, something like that. But one thing you can do that might help Charlene and Ava, you could go to my not a lot of competition, yeah. Well, that's probably, Debbie, just because I've stuck at it so long. But what you could do is you could go to our website and just look at some of our prices. I'm not suggesting that you can necessarily pull the same price I can, but that's a frame of reference. I am suggesting to use that as a frame of reference. The other thing I would do too, say, I think somebody in here earlier said they were from New York. Look around your area and see if people are selling this kind of thing, and if they are, what are they getting for it? So if you're trying to sell something for $100 and everybody around you is selling it for $50, you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of luck unless yours is really different, okay? I do think people will pay a little more for quality, that I do believe. But a lot of it you have to educate them too. If you're using MDO, if you're not, all that kind of stuff. But ladies, those of you that if you wanna sell it, make sure you put, if it's Christmas, this is my opinion, y'all absolutely do what you feel is right for you. But in my opinion, if you want to sell it and it's Christmas, you need to put glitter on it. Yeah, you really do. For whatever reason, that's Kim says she charges $220. Okay, so that's what, and that's on that 3-piece snowman, Kim. Okay, and I think you can get it $220, $229, something like that. $239, depending on your area. Kim lives in a smaller town, but it's a decent town in terms of the economy. It's not really economically real depressed. They've got a lot of, what do you call it, like plants and a lot of jobs around there, that kind of thing. So that does make a difference. And then if you get a chance, go check out any competition you may have at a craft show, right? Or look on Etsy. Look on, yes, yeah, glitter sells, absolutely, Charlene. There's no question. And I think I've told y'all my glitter story that we only started using glitter when we were just having a hard time because the wood was so bad. And Bruce, I was just, you know, we painted all this stuff and the surface was just really bad looking. It almost looked like somebody had taken a claw hammer and was trying to chip it off. And so Bruce said, get the truck, we're gonna go to, back then it was, what was that place down there? Garden Ridge Pottery. I'm gonna tell you how long ago that was. I was like, what are we going to Garden Ridge Pottery for? He said, we're gonna go buy some glitter. I'm like, what are we buying glitter for? And he says, because glitter's gonna cover up our problem. I'm like, no, we're not gonna, I don't wanna go buy glitter. We're throwing good money after bad. He's like, we're gonna go buy glitter. And he was right, but Bruce is always like a fixer. That's just his mentality. No matter what, he thinks he can fix it, whether he can or he can't, y'all, but he thinks he can. And so we went and got glitter, we brought it home, and I remember we got the clear glitter and he bought some silver. I was like, what are you doing? I don't think you have a clue what you're doing. He's like, I really don't, but we're gonna mix this. I'm like, why are we mixing it? He said, you really want some of that silver in there just to give it a little bit more of a variegated look. And really, we took stuff out there and everything that had glitter on it is what sold first. So understand that glitter that we now have used for 25 years came about because we were trying to solve a problem. And that's why a lot of, like sometimes, and it's human, we get defeated and we feel down and we feel like, oh gosh, this is not gonna work, and oh my gosh, why did, you know, things are not working out for me. And I get it, I really do. But at the end of the day, you just got to get up and figure out a way to make it work. And so fortunately, Bruce figured out the glitter part, and we do a lot of white silhouette stuff. So some of you guys that are wanting to sell stuff, make sure you look for white silhouette stuff, because you don't have to paint it. You don't have to, you have to paint it, but you don't have to detail paint it. You can take that white roller and just cover that with a bunch of white paint, throw some glitter on there, let it dry. I mean, that's all you have to do. And people will buy the white stuff. We sell a lot of it. And you have to have no skill level at all. In fact, I've often thought, those of you who know our stuff, we do those big tall deer. I've often thought about trying to put together like a little mini course for the big tall deer and sell the paper patterns, because you can make good money on those, because you don't have to have any skill set whatsoever to paint it. You really don't. Marisol says, hello from Houston, Texas. Patricia, tell me what you mean by your surface never looks smooth. I'm going to show you this. This is really not a smooth surface either. So look at this. So it's not really, when you look at it, it's wood. Now this I did on Baltic birch, right? Because I wanted to show y'all what you could do with Baltic birch if you want to. Now, normally we use MDO, but I know a lot of you cannot get MDO. So I don't want you to think, well, I can't get MDO, I'm out of the game. No, you're not out of the game. You just got to go a different route. It's kind of like, don't give up. You're not out of the game. Patricia, what do you mean by none? I say, my surface never looks smooth. None. Not sure what she means by that. So put white, glitter on white. You paint it? So you put glitter on white while you paint? Yes. On the silhouette stuff, yes I do, Ava. Anything silhouette that's just solid glitter, all I do is roller it with that roller, right? So let's pretend this is a solid white Santa. You're not going to do a Santa, but just pretend for a minute. I would put white paint all over it, roll that paint this way, roll that paint that way. And while that paint is wet, throw a lot of white glitter on there. Yeah, that's what I do on all that. Charlene says, yes, please, on the deer. I might do that, Charlene, now that we can do the paper pattern, because those white deer, they take up an entire 4x8 sheet of paper, sheet of wood. Let's see, and I'm thinking, so one of them 66 inches tall, one of them 72, but you'd have to cut them out. We could sell you the paper pattern. I could do a little tutorial on that. But the tall white deer, now I have red bows on mine. So I charge $2.99 for those. But again, I have to go buy the red bows, and the red bows are lighted. So I don't think you could get that much if you don't have red lighted bows. Do yourself a favor and don't do any other color than red, because it won't, or I can't sell a green bow. I have them, couldn't give them away. Has to be red. You said a no-skilled person could do the deer. I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. Anybody can do the deer. The hardest part about the deer is they're tall and they're big. So, like when I glitter them, when I was younger, I would glitter them by myself. Now that I'm not so young, I don't glitter them by myself. So you may need two people, because you get the stakes on that deer, and he's 66 inches without the stakes, and then with the stakes, he's 76 inches, so he's really long. So you've got to have somebody to help you throw that glitter on there, and then pick him up and go lay him down. So yeah, but the thing about that is anybody can make money on selling those deer. Anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you think you can't paint. And I sell probably 30 to 40 sets a year, and I've sold them for 20 years. A long time. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to paint those deer, but I have to, because like the peeps will be mad if I don't have white deer, y'all. So let me look into the white deer thing. I do know it's a whole sheet, a 4x8 sheet. So let's say you find MDO and it's 60 bucks a sheet, but if you can get 260 bucks out of it, it's worth it. But you'll have to cut your own blank. But some of you guys are great at cutting your own blank. So no, this is a regular nap. I do not do, Patricia, I don't do foam rollers. Don't like them. don't have any patience for them. I don't mess with them. Probably because foam rollers would probably be good on something that you might be stenciling where you didn't want a whole lot of paint. But everything I do, I want a whole lot of paint. Okay? Yes, you can learn all that stuff in the club. Yep. We have probably 30 how-to tutorials where we go into a lot of detail. Some of the tutorials are shot at like a restaurant supply. I'm telling you what to buy there. So it's a lot of different things in there. But you know, as far as the academy, you're not gonna go in there and in 1 week you're gonna know all of it. It's a lot of stuff in there, y'all, a lot. Now, it's like anything else. If you go in there and you just binge watch a lot of it, you'll get a lot of it. So, but in these tutorials or like these lives, I can't go and do everything or we would be here for 3 hours, you know. But yes, definitely, you can learn all that in the club, in the academy, not necessarily the club, the academy. Charlene says the club is awesome. Thank you. I think she means the academy, but that's okay. So I tell you what, if y'all would do me a favor, if you will comment and say, I want to learn how to do the white deer, then if I get enough interest, I will pull the white deer as a painted, as a paper template, and I'll do a tutorial on that. That's a good money maker. With any of the what do you call it? Solid glitter stuff, you'll do good with. Now, understand those deer, you can already get them right now as the digital template. But the problem with that digital template is gonna be, most of you are not gonna have a way to get that small 8.5 by 11 sheet to be 66 and 72 inches tall. So, yeah, Debbie says, sign up now for the academy. It closes on Sunday. Yeah, it does, Debbie. And so white deer, please. Charlene says. Nan says yes on the deer. Okay, okay. And thank you, Charlene. You know, Ashley and I put a lot of energy in here, but that's because we love it. But y'all, Ashley's been suffering. She's just, you know, she has good days and bad. And I've encouraged her to take as much time as she needs to get well. And I've told her your body's going to get well when it gets well. So if y'all could say a little prayer for her, that'd be great. She's my kid. It just sucks. But, you know, I'm grateful that she's not any sicker than she is, because it could be worse. But still, it's your kid, and you worry, and you just think, you know, I hope everything goes. She lives an hour and 15 minutes away, which I can't go to her house anyway. That's a whole part of the whole COVID thing, is the isolation. And I don't care what anybody says, as human beings, we are a peer bonding species. We really want to be, you may not be outgoing, and you may not be like an extrovert, you want to be around hundreds of people, but there's people in your life you want to be around. And Ashley's definitely one of my peeps that I want to be around. So this has been hard. It's been hard. But yeah, I try to keep my chin up. Of course, I have my moments. And of course, Bruce is forever patting me on the back, you know. So Ava says, I already did sign up. Yes on the white deer. I love watching. Thank you, Patricia. That is so sweet. Yes on the white deer. Okay. Well, it sounds like y'all like the white deer thing. And the thing about it, I'll have to record it outside. But what I'll do is I will, let's see, what is today? Friday? It won't be till next week or the week after, but I'll try to make sure and get it done in September. So those of you that want to cut some for Christmas, especially to sell, maybe one for your own yard, but if you're wanting to sell them, you can make a little money on that. And it's not hard. You'll have to make sure, I would do, if you're gonna do the deer, go find you a gallon of white paint somewhere. You don't necessarily have to have ours, but find, you know, exterior semi-gloss outdoor paint. It doesn't matter if you get it at Walmart, who cares? But you know, we sell little jars like that. That's not what you want for the deer. So go make sure you go to Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. I would buy a gallon. If you're gonna do several sets, you're gonna need it. And then go look into a situation. If you want bows, maybe you can make your own. That might be good. But the bows will help them sell, I can tell you that. And I'll try to do that next week or the week after. And I'll probably do those in the academy for those. That's something we'll do probably for everybody in the academy. That's a good way for y'all to earn a little bit of money and get some of your money back that you're spending on yard art. Ooh, y'all, I crack myself up. Ain't that ridiculous? But anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to come on tomorrow and I'm going to shade this. And for those of you that are waiting on blanks at the store, I think we'll have some on Saturday. Zach is supposed to bring them. Ashley's obviously not going to bring them. Zach is fine. He's already been tested as negative. I think he goes back to work, him and Carly. Ashley's the one that's really struggling. So, but for whatever reason, her immune system is not fighting it off as well, or maybe she got a bigger viral load of it. Who knows? You know how it goes. So, anyway, collars and bells. Oh, Lou, I didn't think about that. You're so right. But anything decorative like that, somebody posted in the Painters Club, I think today, where they did the candy corn, and they put a bow on it, and then they did the stacked Christmas presents. They put a bow on it. So cute, just precious, precious. Roberta says you're awesome and kind to share your talent. Thank you, Roberta. It's fun. It's fun to share with y'all because what would I be doing? Watching TV? There's nothing on TV. TV sucks, y'all. Kim says prayer for Ashley. Thank you, Kim. I know you, and I know you mean that, Kim. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. She's my kid. Y'all know how mamas are. It's just it's not good. Well, when I say it's not good, I think she's hanging on, but she's at home. You know, she's breathing fine, but she just doesn't have energy to get up. Some days she's got a lot of congestion. I think she's got a lot of sinus going on too. Other days she doesn't. But I've just encouraged her to lay down until she gets well, because all the work that she's missed out on and the sales and all that can be replaced. All that. Ah, thank you, Kim. Your family, I love y'all. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you for that. You guys have been so supportive, but we love you guys. We love hanging out with y'all. Just, you know, it's just fun. It sure beats the heck out of watching TV. So I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll do something in the academy on those white deer, and hope y'all have a good day. We'll see you later. Thank you, Lou. Bye-bye.
All